Hey everybody, this is Kevin with Nighthawk Motors, and today I just filmed my 5 things I love about this truck. And there were a lot of things, like it wasn't just 5 things, but I'm also going to go through the 5 things I hate or dislike about the truck. Now this isn't me bashing the vehicle. This vehicle is awesome. I have no real complaints with it, but there are a couple little nitpicky items I'd just like to show everybody that might be in the market to purchase this vehicle or a similar vehicle, just so you can take a look at it and decide for yourself if it's a big deal or not. Most of them most likely won't be a big deal. There's really not much in this truck that you can hate on. So without further ado, it's going to be a fairly short video, but without further ado, we'll get into the 5 things I dislike about the 2019 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 High Country. And that's actually the first thing I dislike about it. It's quite a mouthful to say, the actual designation of the truck. I understand, like, you really want to know what it's called, but I almost feel like they could call it the Silverado, you know, like they have a Raptor model of the F-150. I almost feel like they could call it just like a Raptor, not like an F-150 Raptor or something like that. Just make it shorter so it rolls off the tongue easier. And I guess you can do that with this truck, because I don't believe they have a 2500 High Country. They might. They probably do. But like, just have a different designation for it, something a little more unique than just, you know, like a computer blocked like name. I think that would be a lot better for this truck, and it would have a better ring to it, and it would sound better when you said it, because you're not going to just say you have a 1500. You're most likely going to tell them you have a High Country. Okay, so the second gripe I have with this truck is the steering wheel. Now the steering wheel itself, the shape is really nice, but I'm not a huge fan of this bezel right here. I feel like it protrudes a little too much. I feel like they should have built it into the steering wheel a little more. Case in point, you sit here at your I think this is what, a 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock grip. What is it? It's 12, 1, 2. So it's a 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock grip. And I just feel like it doesn't form your hand very well. I mean, yeah, you can make do with it, but it just, the front side of it just doesn't feel too good with this bezel right here. I feel like this should have been built into the steering wheel a little more. The actual thickness of the steering wheel is fine. I don't have any complaints with that. It feels really nice. It's got a heated steering wheel as well, which is amazing. I just feel like they could have done something a little better with this bezel right here. And, you know, keep in mind, you're going to be sitting here driving basically the whole time you're in the vehicle. So this is like one of the big things, just like the seat, one of the big things you're always in contact with. And I feel like they could have used a little more little designing on this part right here. So the third thing I dislike about this truck and other Chevy vehicles at this time is actually the rear view mirror. I like the borderless design, where it really doesn't have much of a border to it. And I also like the fact that they have a built-in like video camera in the rear view mirror. I find that to be like an awesome thing. It's going to take a little getting used to for people that just get the truck, but once you get used to it, it's amazing. I mean, look, there's a freaking bird right there, or a bunny, I don't know. Let's see. It's a bird. He's jumping around. But I feel like the actual size of it could be a little bigger, just because, you know, when you're sitting here at driver's eye view, you can see right through that little opening there between the headrests and everything. But if you put those headrests down, I think you would definitely benefit from having a wider rear view mirror, and you can see your passengers at the back. If you have your children back there, you can see what they're doing, see if they're sleeping or not, you know. But I do understand why they have a small mirror in here, just to keep visibility inside the truck a little larger, because as you can tell, it's got good visibility, but it's not as much as like older trucks in the past. The front hood, the hood is up a lot in this truck, which is fine because you can still see past. I mean, you're not going to see like something immediately in front of you, like the car that's right in front of us right now. But I feel like they left that there because most Chevys have like a really low roof line, and they wanted something to match all of them, which is understandable. And I do applaud them for making a new design and not just having the standard basic rear view mirror design. But I just feel like for a truck, I think it needs to be a little bigger because it's a big vehicle. Now the fourth thing I dislike about this vehicle is the auto start stop. I know it's probably some government mandated thing, which most vehicles have nowadays. I just feel like it would be nice to have have this stay on or off depending on how you want to set it, and no matter if you restart the vehicle or leave it for a week, it'll stay in that setting. I was never a huge fan of vehicles that go back to their default setting. I wish there was a way to set this to off all the time, so it doesn't feel as like pushed on you, because not everybody likes the feeling of having their engine shut off when they're at a stoplight, no matter how seamless the start is before you go. I feel like a lot of auto manufacturers implemented that, and they really didn't think about the people buying the vehicles, if they really wanted it or not. You know, it's good if you want to save some gas when you're at a stoplight, but let's be honest here, everybody's turning it off for the most part. I'm sure at least half the people are turning it off, not everybody. Some people probably use it, especially if you live in an area with really long stoplights. But around this area, the stoplights aren't too long, so I feel like it's just kind of a waste of an engine start, and basically wear and tear on the engine and the starter motor. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to say that I dislike about the vehicle, the fifth thing I don't like about this vehicle, is actually the transmission. I feel like the transmission, and I've only driven it a short bit, I feel like when you're at low speeds, maybe between first, second gear, I feel like some of the transitions just aren't very smooth. I feel like there's something with the actual 8-speed transmission that could have been tuned a little better, or things along that line. And this is like really nitpicking here. It's not really a big deal. I really don't have anything else I hate about this truck or dislike about this truck. I was just walking around for like 5 minutes around the truck to see if there's anything I missed, and there really isn't anything. This truck is really just an amazing vehicle, and I think Chevy did like a really good job and basically kicked the ball out of the park, or hit the ball out of the park with this one. Not kicked. Hit is a baseball term. Out of the park with this vehicle. And I just feel like the transmission, the 8-speed Chevy transmission, could have been a little better tuned for the vehicle, and I feel like it's just a little herky-jerky when you're going slow, and between some shifts it can be a little bit of a just a weird feeling and inconsistent at times. Now, if you guys would, in the comments, I'd appreciate if you would leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video. I know it's kind of a negative video. That wasn't my intention. I'm just trying to get everybody my opinion on the truck, both good and bad. And like I said, there really isn't much bad to say about this vehicle. This truck is mostly good. So if you guys would, if you had the truck, please leave comments. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of your vehicle. If you have other gripes about your vehicle after you've owned it for a long time, I'd really like to hear that as well. And if you guys enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate if you would subscribe, stay around, and like the video. So everybody have a great day, and thanks for watching.